Welcome to this very simple class on what kinds of posts you can do. Inspiration and little things you haven't thought of yet. Join me. If you've ever taken any of my classes, you know that they're normally quite theoretical and thoughtful and thinking about sort of the underpinnings of social media and why you should be doing certain things on social media to generate revenue, to get clients, things like that. But today I actually want to talk about really simply just different types of posts that you can do. So I've got a list of 35 posts. I may add a couple more as we get towards the end. We're just going to dive right into different kinds of posts, specifically for Instagram, although you can also use these on both TikTok and Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. Really, these are cross-platform ideas, but I created this list with Instagram in mind because, again, if you've taken one of my classes, you know that I believe that Instagram is still the best platform for really truly getting to know your clients and getting to know, getting engagement and getting actual revenue generating engagement. So the first one is to introduce yourself. I know this seems so simple, but there are so many lovely feeds on social media where you don't really know who is behind it. So I strongly encourage you to introduce yourself to your followers. The other thing to think about is that it's not always just your followers. There are people who are going to come and check out your feed and then go away and come back and check it out again, and they're never going to follow you, but they are going to look at your content and potentially make decisions based on that content. So introduce yourself. Number two, introduce your staff. This is a really common one, especially if you have a brick and mortar store or you have a coffee shop, something like that. It's really important that you introduce your staff because it gives your clients opportunities to get to know people in advance and create really trusting relationships with your staff members. Number three, why did you get started? What brought you here? What inspired you to create your business or your brand or your services or your product, anything like that? Why you started. Number four, this is one of my favorite ones, mistakes you've made. I love to talk about mistakes that I've made either in setting up my business or in creating a product or in launching, because it not only is really resonant with your followers. They can see, that you're a real person, that you don't always, it's not always perfect, that you make mistakes, but it actually can help people understand why your product or service is the way that it is at this point. So I love sharing about mistakes you've made in the past and where it's gotten you to specifically now. Number five, how your product or service has changed over time. So this is a very similar post, but with a little bit of a different background. So like if you've been in business for 10 years and you've been making jewelry for 10 years, how have your earrings changed or your wire or your sourcing? People love to hear those stories about how things have changed over time, why they're better than they were before. This could actually lead to previous customers coming and purchasing your product again, or your class or your coaching product, if you can sort of explain to them how it's better than it used to be. Also, if somebody purchased your product and didn't really like it, this is an opportunity to gain their business back. So explaining how your product or service has changed can be really useful for both new and repeat customers. Number six, partners in your business, whether that's purchasers or wholesale businesses or your who you get your materials from, that have positively impacted your business. So this is a great way to show your clients and customers that sort of the depth of your business, who you partner with, who you are making an impact on, who is making an impact on you, and why your business is different from the other businesses out there. Number seven, collaborators who inspire you. So this could be someone that you worked with on a podcast, or it could be a client who gave you feedback that was really useful that you used to change your product. It could be a staff member who made like a really cool change to your product and you were really happy with it. It could be any of those things. Number eight, if you have a local business, and in my opinion, all businesses are a local business, but this is specifically if you have a local focused business or a brick and mortar, Number 8 is your neighborhood. Share about your neighborhood. This does a lot of different things. This brings publicity to your neighborhood. You can share about the businesses in your neighborhood. You can tag your neighborhood. And what it does is not only does it sort of bring that light to your neighborhood, it also is like a marking post, because when people visit that neighborhood, they will think of you. So especially if you rely on foot traffic, this is a really beneficial thing to do to make sure that people are thinking about you when they think about that neighborhood. Also, if you're local, share where you eat lunch. This seems like such a funny thing to say if you're not familiar with sort of the possibilities of using social media as a local tool. But I encourage you to share where you buy coffee, where you eat lunch, where you go after work to work out. Again, it brings light to your neighborhood, but it also gets people thinking about your business when they see those other businesses. The bonus is that if you share about this and you tag that business in your post or your stories, they can then share it, which I don't ever expect anybody to do. But what it does is if they do share it, it also exposes you to their customers and clients, which is a really great added bonus. So if you are, you can certainly ask for permission to post, especially if you're going to do a post in your feed about a local business. I always ask, but I think that there's sort of a gray area with stories. I think as long as you tag the business so that they can see, you know, that you're tagging them, I think that that is appropriate for stories. But at the same time, asking is always good. Then number 10 is where you buy like presents for people. So like in your neighborhood, where do you buy presents, or where do you get gift cards? Where do you get a massage? Again, these are all sort of posts that call back to where you're located within your community, and also are just a great way to support other businesses in your community, which is always sort of the underpinning of everything that I'm doing on social media. Social media should be about your business, about increasing revenue. But if you're not also supporting community, then I think you're missing out just on this enormous opportunity to play a bigger role in your local economy. So if you're not local, you're sort of national and international, you post about where your clients are. So for example, United States, and you speak French, and you have clients in France, but you're not posting about that, then people who are in France or speak French are probably writing you off. So make sure that you're telling what like local economies you're familiar with, what languages you speak, your clients are looking for the world. You can do this video, you can do a graph or like a map. There's a lot of number 12, types of clients that you work with. So if you have a very specific clientele, this is a great way to share with people, hey, these are the kinds of clients that I work with. Is this you? If you have a really general clientele, you can use this as an opportunity to tell people sort of the breadth of your work and how you've worked with tons of different businesses, really help them out. But either way, it's useful to share this information with. And then a similar question, 13, is what usually makes people decide to work? So what's like kind of their last step before they work? So I'm a social marketing teacher and coach and consultant, and usually people's like last step before they work with me is getting really frustrated with social media, or even like taking a long break from social media on their business platforms because they're just done. And then kind of when they come back to it and they're like, I actually need to be doing this, that's when they come and work with me. So that's something that's really helpful to share. Number 14, what is your brand mission? So why are you here? What are you doing? Like, what's your goal? And along with that too, what is your value proposition? What are you making? What are you selling or doing? Who is it for? And why is it different from other businesses that are out there? And this is so important. I probably should have put it first, because if you cannot speak to this and your post cannot speak to this, then your clients cannot refer people to you because they can't speak to it either. So this is like super, super important. Number 16 are pain points. What about existing products or services on the market are challenging for your clients that are going to make them want to find your product and search it out and purchase it? So if you, for example, I'm a social media marketing teacher, The pain point that people have that often bring them to me is that they're spending too much time on social media. They're overwhelmed, they're exhausted, and so they're looking for a way to minimize the work that they're doing and maximize their effectiveness. And so you want to speak to those pain points. Why are people searching you out? What about their current products or services are making it stressful for them? Or like, is it, you make joggers and they're the most comfortable joggers on the planet? Well, then the pain point is that their previous joggers are not comfortable. And so, or they slide down or the ankle cuffs are too tight or whatever it is. So think about the pain points that are bringing your customers in and post about those. Usually there's more than one, but often there's one big one. 17 through 19 are FAQs. So I think that one of the most effective ways to sort of fill out your feed with posts is to answer frequently asked questions. This is for a couple of different reasons. One is that it actually makes purchasing decisions easier for your customers and clients. The other one is that for those people who are popping over to your page and looking around and not following you, having answers to frequently asked questions on that page can actually increase conversion rates. So increase the number of people that will actually go and purchase your products. But the third one is that it's a great customer service technique, because then if you are answering the same questions over and over again, then in like by email or through your customer service form, then it means that you're not adequately answering those questions on your website or in your social media. So using your social media to answer frequently asked questions can actually reduce how much time you have to spend on customer service. So I have 3 types of FAQs that you can answer. One is web quirks. So if you have a website that's a little bit quirky, the cart disappears, or you have to click the button twice, or you have to, put USA in the shipping or whatever it is, make sure you tell people about that so that they don't abandon their carts. The second is processing and shipping time, if you are shipping products, or if you're a service, like how far out you're booking. And then variations in the final product. So this is really interesting if you're an artist or a maker and there are your product is one of a kind, or your products have some variations in them. Actually posting about the different variations can answer those questions that people have about what they're actually going to be getting and reduce dissatisfaction. Number 20 is customer photos. So I used to make jewelry. I would get lots of photos from customers. I would typically share them to my stories because the quality of the photos weren't very good. But if you have good quality customer photos, I definitely encourage you to be sharing those on your posts. And also customer testimonials. So testimonials can be really important, really for any type of business, but there are certain types of businesses that they're just wildly important for. Consultants, real estate, for exercise studios, for massage therapists. So don't forget to get customer testimonials from your clients, and then you can either include them in the caption with just a pretty picture, or you can actually turn them into text and use that as a post. However, as of the end of 2021, Instagram and Facebook really do not like posts that have images with a lot of text that are text heavy. So it's still a good thing to include every once in a while because it creates that sort of web page, that sort of home page in your feed. But just know that you might have reduced engagement on those posts. Number 22. This is really random, but if you have a dog or a cat or a parrot or whatever that joins you at work, if you have a shop dog or a shop animal, share about them. People love that stuff. It humanizes you. It makes you seem more interesting. It makes people feel more comfortable when they do come into the space because they already know that that animal is going to be there. And people just love animals. So I generally don't encourage people to share about their pets if it's not relevant. But if you have a dog that comes with you to the office or your appointments, definitely share about that. Number 23, one thing that I love to share about is old products or prototypes. So we talked a little bit about this at the beginning about sharing mistakes that have gotten you to where you are, but I actually really enjoy posting about old products or services that you did that you no longer do and why. So I used to do social media management. Don't anymore because I genuinely believe that doing social media from within your organization is going to lead to a better product than paying somebody outside of your organization to do it. So occasionally I will actually post about that. Here's why I don't do social media marketing, or here's why I don't teach this specific class anymore. Number 24, community events that you are a part of. So this is both events that you are participating in as a vendor and events that you are sponsoring or somehow involved in, or events that are using your space. It's amazing how often I see event spaces that don't share the events that are happening at their space. They only share like pretty staged photos. But if you own an event space, you should be sharing about the events that are happening at your space and encouraging people to come to those events. Same thing with stores that do pop-ups. You should be sharing about the artists who are popping up in your store. There's lots of different opportunities to share about events that you are part of, even if it's not something that you're literally a vendor at. Number 25, places that inspire your product or service. So if you're a painter and you paint landscapes, it would be great to occasionally share about those landscapes that are inspiring to you. It could be that you, like as we talked about, make joggers, but you actually make joggers based on a pattern that you saw when you were in Paris. We'll share about those inspirations, those places that inspire your product service. Number 26, little known facts about your brand. So this is kind of fun. You can share about how many employees you have or what your workspace looks like. You can share how many products you've sold this year, if that's a useful thing for you to be sharing, or how many TV shows your product has shown up in. So this is a great way to just share fun facts about your brand that people might not know. Number 27, this is kind of in the similar vein. You can share about sales records if you've had like a record month or you've sold a record number of X units, or you want to share about your year-end statistics. This can be really interesting because you don't just have to share like your revenue. You could share about how many units you've sold or your low return rate. You could share about last year when during COVID, I didn't necessarily want to share about my revenue, but I would want to share about how many people had actually taken my classes last year and how many people I had served, because that was really resonating with me. And it was really interesting to get feedback from the community and hear that those were the kinds of things that were resonating with them as well. Number 28, books that have helped you along the way. So this could be architectural books or books that taught you how to draw. It could be self-help books or something that helped you unlearn old bad patterns in the past. Really, whatever it is, book recommendations are a great way to provide a service to your customers and clients for free and sort of give them some insight into who you are, which can actually engender a lot of trust as well. Number 29, fun picks that align with your brand colors. So if you don't have brand colors, probably something you should be looking into. I encourage you to think about what colors align with your brand and also what kind of fonts, and whether it's a minimalist vibe or whether it's a sort of fashioned vibe, whether it's a sort of Insta Visco girl kind of thing, or sort of more plain. And then once you know that, once you know what colors you're working with, actually like post stuff that just fits those parameters that kind of spice up. For me, my colors are pink and mustard because in the past my hair was pink. So sometimes I just find like a really pretty picture, like a sunset or something, pink, mustard colors, and share those images. We've talked about sharing mistakes, but my number 30 recommendation is actually sharing about successes. So this could be sort of emotional successes, things that you have struggled with in the past that you're overcoming. It could be successes in partnerships that you're creating. It could be number of successes or goals that you've reached. But I encourage you to share those successes with your clients, because most likely your clients are what got you those successes in the first place, and they love to hear how you're doing. Number 31, organizations you support. So I recommend especially sharing about organizations that you do support on an ongoing basis, or that you donate to on a regular basis, or that you elevate on a regular basis. But if that's not something that you're currently doing, then actually thinking about what organizations you would like to support and elevate on an ongoing basis, and then start sharing about them. I would encourage you to go uber local on that. So the more local, the better. Yes, the National Wildlife Foundation needs donations, but for the most part, if you can be donating and doing good work in your community, expanding significantly the reach of the money or the volunteer work that you're doing. It doesn't have to be a nonprofit. I encourage you to donate to mutual aid organizations or direct donations. There's a lot of really great articles about that online, about the difference between mutual aid and charity and how mutual aid sets us up for better systems in the future. And if you can't find any articles on that, feel free to reach out and I can find one to send to you. Number 32, your product or your service in the wild. So this is kind of fun. As a consultant, you could post pictures of you taking a meeting or engaging with another business in your community. If you have products, you could do sort of lifestyle shoots, or you could shoot, beautiful earrings with a plant as the background. Just sort of fun ways of seeing your product that are not sort of standard product on, a white background. Number 32, shop or service updates and vacation breaks. So these are great things to communicate online. You can even pull them down once that break is over. But again, this is kind of answering those frequently asked questions and saying like, hey, shops can be closed from X to Y, and the new shipping date will be Z, giving people that information so that they're not frustrated. If you are a small business, especially if there are shipping delays known in your local postal service, letting people know about those so that they can plan in advance. Those kinds of things are really helpful. Number 34, behind the scenes posts. This can be making products, setting up for an event. If you're on an Instagram influencer, it could be like getting your makeup done, anything that shows people the work that goes into your product and service. Not only gives them insight into who you are, but it can, like I've mentioned before, like increase sort of the trust in that relationship. And it can make you resonate more with your clients and customers, but also sort of give them a sense of who you are. Number 35, where people can purchase your product or service. So this is a funny one. A lot of people miss this, but if you have a product that's available in other people's stores or on other people's websites, make sure that people know where they can find that product or service. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any other questions, I'm going to drop my website below. Feel free to reach out. I have several other classes on Skillshare if you're looking for a refresher or just need some new inspiration in your social media marketing. And I hope you have a great day.